Hi, Toko here. Today I'm doing a match commentary. I'm going to commentate on Stream vs Dr. Shoals matchups, Stream vs Dr. Shoals and Stream vs Kung Pao matchups, starring me and Canadian Bacons. Without any further ado, let's jump right into the first match. I'd like to note though that I'm going to pause the matches a lot. I'm going to point out the mistakes both of the players are doing. First of all, notice how much do I use my air special. How many resets do I do throughout the match? When I'm using a high dive kick and then cancel it, this allows me to play passive while increasing my danger zone simultaneously, because as you may already know, I can kick out of the position like this, meaning that I am not falling straight down, I still can kick. This allows me to gain advantage, spacing advantage, while not being too susceptible to Stream's kicks. Let's continue. Dive kick cancel, dive kick cancel. That's just what I do because frankly I do not use Dr. Shoals' kick factor at all. I'm just not interested in utilizing it, which means I'm only using my kick factor for my air special and rarely my ground special. That's why I try to keep my meter low. Keeping my meter low allows me to press D plus K once in order to perform a reset. Alright. Stream kills me. Why did this happen? Because Stream had kick gem. If Stream had dive gem or meter gem, his kick would have stopped before he could reach me. I miscalculated his speed and the range of his kick. That's why I pretty much die here. I didn't even pay attention to what gem did he pick. That's why I die. Just remember this thing. Pay attention to what gem does your opponent pick. This was an input lag. Just bad inputs by me. I didn't press kick the second time, which resulted in me recklessly dive kicking right into Stream. His reactions paid off, so he kickbacked again and kicked me. This scores the second round for him. Here I die because I miscalculate the height of Stream. Yes, that might sound stupid, but I actually expected him to start his flame bait lower. That didn't pay off, I died. Good thing that wasn't a headshot. This was a pretty dumb mistake, you gotta agree. Instead of kicking, I dropped straight down and face tanked a missile from Stream. One missile dodged and wow. I'm quite frankly disturbed by that play. I dive straight up without paying any attention to where exactly his missile is. That basically finishes up our first game. As you may have already noticed, Dr. Shoals doesn't really have that much trouble against Stream's kick factor. You just have to pay attention to where exactly on the screen his missiles are and have meter. When you have meter, you can safely dodge a lot of these missiles. Alright, let's try to commentate on the second game against Divekick. Dive kick, dive cancel, dive kick. Stream went in for a very aggressive play, which is not really a trait of most Stream players. Stream is meant to be played passively. He has great baiting tools, so I didn't really expect this to happen. I did kick back in time, but look at how much ground did Stream win over me. I'm in the corner already. We've both crossed half a screen with that one. When you're facing Stream, be sure to pay attention to his kick height. When he is kicking that low, chances are he's going for that ballsy aggressive play. Notice how it was only 14 seconds and Stream's already in kick factor. If you want him to not enter kick factor, you have to pressure him. I didn't, and I paid for it. Kick factor 14 seconds in, first round of the match. Okay, here I dodge 4 missiles in a row and go in just as Stream kickback second time. This kickback left him in a state where he couldn't really do anything. Notice where exactly on the screen he is. Plus, he decides to kick instead of using flame bait or just leaving his kickback as it is. That gets me a kill, setting us at 1-1. I was super lucky here. I actually expected this kick to headshot me, but the game decided different. I knew, as soon as I stopped my kick, I knew that I'm going to face his foot. But when I noticed that he went right over me without touching, I dive and kick straight up. This position leaves Stream helpless against Shoals. Notice how close this is. But when I understand that I'm free, as soon as my character turns around, I dive and kick. Frankly enough, I did not expect that to happen, but I got a kill anyway. Let me commentate on this step by step. I go in for a very deep kick, cancel it. Cancel it with uh, drifting back a little. Uh, how did this happen? My my meter allowed me to. I'm on 4 meter. Then I blink my air special by by pressing the kick button, pressing the dive button, and then immediately releasing my kick button. This enables me to start my air special as well as drift back for a little and then drop. This baits stream into kicking. Now, I patiently wait for him to cross me up, but this doesn't happen. My character does not turn around. Stream stays in the same position. What happens is that I wait for him to go over me in that neutral state, but he decides to flame bait anyways. He uses a late flame bait here. Notice how Dr. Shoals snaps for a little bit. She turns around for half a second. Never mind. I'm pretty sure that's just me seeing things. Anyways, he uses a flame bait, a late flame bait. I dive and kick. Since Stream has no way of cancelling his flame bait animation, he's essentially stuck in it. That allows me to dive and kick and kill him. That was a very patient play by Canadian Bacons. Double kickback and just wait. He knew I'll reset. That's why he was patiently waiting for me to get close to him. I reset the kick and kick again. Kick back, kick. He kills me. This was a huge mistake on my part. I kicked second time. I'm pretty sure I meant to do that, but that was obviously a bad choice to do. If I didn't kick the second time, I had a chance of either killing him or at least getting a double KO. This is another bland mistake on my part. Everyone knows that Stream's hitboxes aren't as you know, transparent as other characters' hitboxes. What I mean by this is his hurt box is actually non-existent in his feet. That's why when you are going for that foot-to-foot clash, you won't ever get a double KO against Stream. In order to kill him, you have to hit him here or higher. Even if you change the angle and will go with angle like that, you won't kill him anyways. That's just how Stream works. And I didn't forget about it, I just kicked in hopes that he will steer his kick downwards. He obviously doesn't, and I die. This is a perfect example of where exactly do you have to hit Stream in order to kill him. I hit him in his ankle, in his higher ankle, slash his knee. If I would have hit him lower, that would have resulted in a double KO. This is a very huge mistake on my part and great play by Stream. How exactly is that a great play? Notice how I dive, kick, and reset. If I would have kicked second time here, I would have scored a headshot and a match point. But I fail in kicking in the right time and I kick later. That's when Canadian Bacon's double dives kicks. This results in a headshot and he wins the match this way. When you're facing a Shoals that resets her kicks a lot, you have to rely on this trap. Many characters have the ability to punish these whiffs by Dr. Shoals, and if you're facing a bad Dr. Shoals, she will probably whiff those things a lot. And by bad Dr. Shoals I essentially mean myself, because I whiff those very often. Alright, this concludes our first match. Oh, actually no, this concludes our second match. Final match against Bacon's Stream. Dive kick, dive cancel, dive kick, kick. Once again, Stream had the meter to use the flame bait, but he didn't. He either was too eager to land and then continue on diving and kicking, or he just didn't pay attention to his meter. Notice how he steers his kick downward. That's where I await from him. For him. Once again, a huge mistake on Stream's part. Look at this position. I have 2 kicks worth of meter and I am above him. From now on, it doesn't even matter whether or not Stream has the ability to flame bait after his kick. I kick, reset as soon as Stream crosses me over, and double kick again. Pretty straightforward if you ask me. Here is a pretty huge whiff on my part, but after the whiff I was in a pretty safe position, so that's okay. Notice my movement here. I expect Stream, once again, I expect him to be a little bit lower when he flame baits. He ends up flame baiting right above me. That's when I kick the second time and instantly dive. I do not expect him to kick, that's why I dive and kick him instead. Here is another mistake on my part. Instead of using the reset and killing Stream, I fall dead down on the ground. I'm lucky that Stream decides to kick back instead of diving and kicking towards me. That saves my ass, pretty much. Here's another mistake. Stream escapes my kick with his kickback and kills me. Here is the position I wanted to punish, but it was just a little bit too late to kick. He manages to kick back just in time and kick me. Actually, I'd like to note that I was lucky that his legs were on fire, because when Stream's legs are on fire, he is not able to land headshots. If he would have steered his kick a little bit higher, he would have kicked right into my head. I was lucky that he used flame bait right before that. Notice how passive do I play. I didn't even notice that Canadian Bacons was on the verge of entering Kick Factor. If I would have known that his meter is that high, I probably would have played much more aggressive. Now, notice how important this Kick Factor is for Stream later on. He does lose that round, plus he loses two-thirds of his meter. But this doesn't stop him from getting a kill here. Once again, after dodging 2 missiles, I do not pay attention to the position of the third one. And yet again, paying zero attention to the missile position. Let me rewind this play for a bit. Here is the first place where Stream could have punished me. I kicked the second time, he should have kicked instantly. And here, where he actually punishes my moves. But he's a little bit too late, which gives me time to land. If I kicked back here, I would have survived, but I dive. I'd like to show you that round once more. He enters Kick Factor, he fires the missile, that's why I instantly dive. Then I float. I float knowing that the cooldown on Stream's missiles is precisely 1.5 seconds. I float and wait for a bit. This launches the second one when I dodge him. And here, Stream goes in for a very, very ballsy kick, which enables me to kick back and kick him. Even if he would have used flame baits, I still would have gotten him. Alright. Now for the Dr. Shoals versus Kung Pao matchup. First of all, I'd like to note that this matchup, in my opinion, is slightly in Dr. Shoals' favor. The reason I play badly in this match because I fail a lot of my resets. First one. Instead of lowering myself almost to the ground and then kicking into Kung Pao's face, I go for a classic 180, which enables Kung Pao to punish my kick. I'm lucky that Canadian Bacon decides against kicking me. Once again, instead of using a normal 180, I decide to fall down and then kick, which gives Kung Pao time to kick back. As soon as he notices me going for a reset at that range, he instantly kickbacks. Notice how, as soon as I see Kung Pao's foot nearing my feet, I jump. This allows me to dodge a dive kick that Kung Pao could have thrown at me. Once again, as soon as I see the kick coming, I dive. Here, Kung Pao decides to go for the dive kick and lets me escape. Here, once again, a very, very bad decision by me. Instead of going higher, instead of diving higher, I decide to kick right here. And I do not reset instantly after crossing Kung Pao. I actually fly for a bit more and want to go for a reset near the wall. This is obviously a very bad decision because Kung Pao is in kick factor. She dives higher, she kicks faster. This is a great play by Kung Pao. Canadian Bacons did the thing I never expected him to do. Notice how his kick factor slowly but surely goes down. He's on the verge of his kick factor ending, and there he goes for the dimension break. Noticing how I reset my kick and kick towards the wall, he goes into the portal, waits for the moment of me crossing the portal, and leaves it. This has to be one of the coolest headshots Kung Pao has ever scored on me.
Fraud detection warning. Fraud detection warning.
Here I actually managed to do a decent reset.
Detection averted.
Let me commentate on this a little bit more in depth. I reset at this range. While this is not the minimum range I can safely reset at, this is actually a pretty bad range for Kung Pao to stay. If she dives, she'll meet my foot. If she stays still, I'll kick second time and score a headshot. If she kicks back, I hit her foot. I hit her foot. This wasn't even a guess by me, I just went for a high dive kick. That was a very random round, I have to admit. Now then, normally this would be a turning point of the match, but I actually managed to do 3 very bad decisions. Let me show this again. First bad decision, I start the reset way too early. Second bad decision, I do not lower myself enough to score the headshot. Notice how I whiff the head of Kung Pao. If I would have waited for a little bit, my kick would have landed right into her face. And the third one, I just don't do anything. I fail the reset, fall straight down, Kung Pao punishes me for it. Here's the last game I'm going to commentate on. Once again, Dr. Shoals versus Kung Pao. Here I want to stress the importance of the first round in this matchup. Dr. Shoals needs at least 1 kick's worth of meter to be successful. I have to play very passive in order to get the speed of meter, but I decide to dive and kick, thinking that Canadian Bacons would go for a dive kick too. He doesn't. He just dives late and reacts to my kick. He gets him around. This move gets him around, but I get my much needed meter. Here's how I utilize it. Alright, I actually managed to whiff 2 KOs there, but let's hope I'll do better next time. Wow, that's just... wow. Whiff City, right here. And I also managed to mistime my cancel, so that I don't even land on the line. Once again, I fail a ton of resets. I have no idea why did I play so poorly that day. Normally, I would have scored a KO or even 2 in the time frame of 10 seconds. Well, at least I managed to land exactly where I want to. Here it is, another 0 meter play. I go for another guess. Instead of playing passively, I go for an aggressive guess. It pays out. Once again, instead of getting lower, just a tiny bit lower, I fail the reset and get myself almost killed. Well, here King Pao makes the mistake of diving into my reset, into my 180, which results in a kill, obviously. Here's the play I want you to pay attention to. Notice how Kung Pao is in her kick factor. Generally speaking, when someone enters kick factor, they become much more aggressive. They know that they are stronger. That's how I decide to play around this fact. Knowing that she will most probably dive, I go for the high 180. But I actually fail it by kicking the second time, which enables which gives Kung Pao a chance to escape the kick. Here's what I do next. Since I faced the wall while falling down, I dive instantly and kick into the wall. This allows me to fake Kung Pao into thinking that I'll kick the second time and just drop dead down. But I reset. Knowing that Kung Pao will dive kick, I reset and kick. Once again, I whiff my reset, but I actually managed to do a decent reset the next time. I kick. I see that I'll whiff. If I'll continue with this kick, I'll whiff. That's why I stop, drop for a little bit, and kick again. Once again, a pretty easy 180 reset. Stunned Kung Pao wouldn't have had an answer to that. This concludes my 5th game I commentated on. I'm fairly certain that I went over the most basic points of Stream versus Dr. Shoals matchup that I wanted to cover, but Dr. Shoals versus Kung Pao requires a little bit more in-depth look for it to be understandable and tenable. That's why I'm pretty sure I'll make another video that will be essentially a Dr. Shoals versus Kung Pao commentary without any other characters in the mix. And with that, I am concluding my commentary. I hope you enjoyed it. If not, please leave a comment and say what do I have to improve on. Until next time, bye!